Welcome back everyone to Pontus Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 4, Episode 2 of Game of Thrones The Board Game, and we are playing the Mother of Dragons expansion, and we're including in that game the A Dance with Dragons house cards as a variant of the Mother expansion. So we are about to start turn 2. We just wrapped up turn 1, and let's jump right ahead into it. First shout out to Pontus Fathom Press. 2-volume set of the Tales of the Yellow Sign. This is where we help to support the channel. So we've got Robert Chambers' The King in Yellow, featuring a preface by August Moldenhauer. This is really the book that starts out the Yellow Sign, and followed up by August Moldenhauer's Lost Carcosa and the Yellow Sign. This is a deep dive into the Hastur myth, the idea of Lost Carcosa, the King in Yellow and the Yellow Sign. And this takes us through the Ambrose Bierce material, the origins of Hastur, the origins of the Yellow Sign, the poem of Carcosa, links to Carcassonne, the Cathar, even into the Cathar Yellow Cross. So check those out, help to support the channel. As usual, if you like and subscribe, helps us to grow the channel, so we really appreciate you guys doing that. Let's jump right in. So here we are on round 2. The first thing we can shout out to here is we will now get to do our Westeros Phase. This was skipped in Phase 1, and as we're playing Mother of Dragons expansion, we will also play the round 4 Essos Phase. So let's start out by revealing those cards. So we've got Phase 1. Oh, first off, we get to expand the round marker to turn 2, and this is going to add 1 dragon strength to House Targaryen's dragon strength counter track, as we see at the bottom of the screen here. So we'll do that, and then let's turn over our Westeros and Essos phases. So 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, and Phase 4. So let's start out with advancing the track, and what we have here is Mustering Phase. Recruit new units in strongholds and castles. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a mustering phase. So each of us has got mustering based on the number of castles we have. So now we have, let's start out by get Iron Throne again. So we'll start out with House Baratheon. They've got Dragonstone, Kingswood, Shipbreaker Bay, and they have not conquered this, so they just have the 2 mustering here. So let's just double check on the mustering rule. Mustering will allow them to add forces to their, basically it's like recruiting forces from the countryside, right? So as we check out the mustering rules, we got this mustering card, and it says Mustering Westeros card offers the strongholds get 2 points of mustering, castles provide 1 point of mustering. So we have Dragonstone has 2, so that means they're able to add, let's have them add a knight. And we can place the knight here in Dragonstone. And again, the mustering has to happen with the castle that you muster from. So let's go next in the track would be Lannister. Lannister has 1, 2, and they get 4. So let's also give them 2 knights. And they can have a knight each. Next up would be Stark. They have 2, 3, 4, and again we can give them a knight and 2 footmen in each of those strongholds. So we get another knight in Winterfell. We have another foot soldier in White Harbor and another foot soldier in the Moat Cailin. Next up we have on the track Sunspear. Sunspear does still have Sunspear is not fallen, so they get a well, they'll have a knight appear there. But they've also added the castle of Ironwood. So Ironwood can also get a foot soldier. Starfall is not theirs yet. Let's go down. The next one is Greyjoy. Greyjoy has 2, and they've gotten Flint's Finger, so they get 3. And once again, Greyjoy can do the same drill. 1 knight and 1 Greyjoy can have 2 and 2, so they're fine. From the supply, you can see the armies. Next up on the track is House Tyrell. Tyrell has a 1, 2, 4 between Highgarden and Old Town, and the Reach. So they get 5 actually. So this is powerful for them. Let's have them get 2 and 1. 2 knights and 1 foot soldier. One, 2, and 3. Okay. Next up is House Aaron. They've got 2, 3. So they get 1 and 1 as well. A knight and a foot soldier. Place the knight in the Eyrie and foot soldier in the Vale. And lastly, House Targaryen. They get... Oh, House Targaryen didn't get to go last turn. No worries. They were in a defensive posture, let's say. House Targaryen gets... 2 mustering forces, which will be fine. Works out perfectly for them. Okay. So that will be the end of the phase 1 of mustering. Everyone has got their mustering complete. Let's move on to phase 2. We get a Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, each player collects 1 power token for each power icon printed in the areas they control. So that's going to be everyone gains 1 each, basically. So yeah, I'll go and hand these out. Okay, everyone's got an extra power token, so that's going to be phase 2. And Wilding Track does not advance because I don't see any Wilding Track advancements. So let's go to card 3 here. It says, put to the swords. The holder of the Valyrian Steel Blade choose one of the following. Defense orders can be played. March orders +1 cannot be played. No restrictions. House Greyjoy has the Valyrian Steel Blade. They're going to go with no restrictions as they don't want the restrictions themselves. So we'll move forward with that. And then lastly, we've got our Westeros Phase. And we will place a loyalty token on the Stormy Shore. Let me grab the loyalty tokens here. So we can place the loyalty token on the Stormy Shore, which is across the world here. So they can place 1 on the Stormy Shore here in the north. And it also says the Targaryen player may discard 1 power token to place a loyalty token either on the Mountains of the Moon or on Moat Cailin. Yeah, so why not? They will put 1 on Mountains of the Moon as well. And then they will give up a loyalty token for that. And can place that back in the pool. as that's going to be the end of the Westeros and Essos Phase cards. So now let's move into, we've resolved the Westeros cards. We can go to our assign orders and reveal our orders. So again, we'll fast forward through that and we'll come right back to you. So we'll fast forward deploying the orders. Baratheon versus Martell. Targaryen planning for an attack on Bavros. Iron, Greyjoy, Tyrell, and Lannister doing some land expansion. And Stark also moving down from Moat Cailin. So we'll get into it. Okay, so we can continue on Phase 2. We've assigned our orders. And now we will continue on the planning phase by revealing the orders. So we'll just go ahead and do that in bulk here. And then we will go ahead in Phase 3 and we will carry out the orders. So we've got each of the houses have given their orders. We've got Greyjoy, Lannister looking like they're going to march on potentially on Seaguard. We've got Tyrell planning to move into Three Towers perhaps, and the Reach looking to extend maybe into King's Landing. We've got Sunspear and Baratheon finishing out their combat, and then back over here in Essos we've got forces of Targaryen making a move on Braavos. So that's going to wrap it up for Phase 2, the planning phase. Messenger Raven, we've already seen the top card, so no need to go into Messenger Raven. Let's go into Phase 3 of the round, and that's the action phase. So we'll resolve our raid orders first. We've got raid orders here and here and below. They get to just return those components, and then we're going to carry out our marching and combat orders next. So let us move into starting with the Iron Throne. Dragonstone will move down to Sunspear across the ships, and then we also have this combat here, and then finally this force. And I think just because this is a huge battle, let's also have reveal of Ironwood back to Sunspear for these two. We have a defensive ship as well, and we have an attack here, and then this is in a support role as well. That's going to be a huge battle that we can plan for. For House Stark, they will be moving down to they're staying a defensive move here, but it looks like that they will expand into the Widow's Watch, and then also the Shivering Sea ship will move down to the Narrow Sea. And then for the House Aaron, the Fingers will move into the Twins. They will leave behind a power token for the Fingers, and we'll also see the they'll also leave a power token behind on Mountains of the Moon, and they'll move one force down into the Crack Claw Point. Or should they move to... No, they have to go to Crack Claw Point first, where they can claim that tower. Actually, let's have them move both forces down. And Greyjoy, defensive, they can move. They will also move on. So if we have House Stark is not moving on that, let's have them move on Seaguard across the bay. And then we will have House Lannister move from Riven Run to Harrenhal, and they will leave a token behind there, a power token for claiming River Run. And they'll keep this as well. And finally, that's going to wrap it up for everyone. We just moved from Old Town to 3 Towers, as well as a final move here. And we'll move them from High Garden to the Reach. And then the Reach will move to Kingswood, who's in a defensive mode. But that should be fine. Okay. Quite a few combats to resolve here, so let's get right into it. Let's start out with King's, the King influence track, House Baratheon on the Iron Throne. They are going to do their Sunspear attack, so let's move House Baratheon and House Martell. Let's get cards positioned for both. And we'll resolve this. So we'll have House Martell will also reveal in the battle. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6 against 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 against 7. And then with the cards we have Stannis Baratheon and Eohota. So we have a defensive tower. 7 and 4 is 11. 6 and 3 is 9. So that's going to have their retreat. But House Sunspear is going to fall to the House Baratheon. So Sunspear falls to Baratheon as a result. Okay, so that's going to go to discard. I think next major battle that we have to contend with is Tyrell versus Baratheon in the Kingswood. So that's going to be Tyrell versus Baratheon. Let's get Tyrell involved in this as well. Tyrell will have Mace Tyrell versus Baratheon. Let's have it be Renly Baratheon. Alright, so now we have 3, 4 versus, we have 3 versus 3. Mace Tyrell versus Renly Baratheon. Immediately destroy one of your opponent's footman units. That's not good, right? So this goes back to the pool. And we can discard this one. If you win, that's it. So Mace Tyrell versus Renly Baratheon, they get discarded. And this will fall to House Tyrell. And then finally we will have the, let's move Martell out of here. Martell battle is completed. Baratheon battles are completed. And Tyrell completed. Let's go to Targaryen battles. We will have the marching order into Braavos by Daenerys' troops. And we will they have +1 from this force. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 5. Braavos falls to House Baratheon, to House Targaryen. So Daenerys conquers Braavos. So that will wrap up the combat for the phase. And we will take care of resolving consolidate power has the 1. Any other consolidate powers? We will do the cleanup off screen. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in round 3. Click on the link here and we'll take you in round 3. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.